Well, hello everybody. I've come out today to sit outside as we have some sunshine. I give myself a bit of a strategy day. I should really be at home finishing ice cold, which is dragging on a bit because other things have got in the way. Running a business, or trying to run a business and getting in the way. So I thought I'll talk just a little bit about making games and third-party games and the issues I've been having. Although I say that, I don't even know where to begin. My original idea was I was going to find some third-party developers or people who were interested who wanted to make games. And I didn't know where to go, so I started out by asking author friends, and they were really into it. So yeah, sure, I'd love to do that, but when I finish the current book that I'm working on, well, I know this myself, if you're writing a book, it might take a year. So I started putting it out, is anybody interested in making games? And people came back to me, and I found some really good people who had developed mobile phone apps and very small projects, but were looking for something else. And they all seemed like the right people. And I then spent 2 days a week working with other people, and sadly nothing was ever delivered. And I kind of found the right people, but I think the project might be a different set of skills from what I was looking for. So I found people who were very interested in using the software that I developed because they were tech people. But the real skill is actually in storytelling, and the process of building a story is very different from the process of building software. And it became one of the things that made me the most sad and was the most demoralizing throughout this whole thing, was just this pushing the rock uphill, trying to find people that could do this. And ultimately everything is my responsibility, and if something fails, it's my failure. And in this case, I think I failed because I found good people that didn't have the right skills, and I was looking for people with interest in software and game development, and I found these people, but I didn't find people who had knowledge of storytelling. And this became I think the issue, that it was extra skills that were needed. And ultimately what I'd always envisioned was, I thought, if I do this, I had this roadmap written out that by this point we'd have 12 games or 15 games developed at this point, and then surely by this time somebody has risen to the surface that we could say, okay, look, do you want to come in as a partner, or maybe even if we're generating revenue, let's make you an employee, and then we can you can kind of head up the game development side. And I really thought I would have found somebody, and of course I haven't found anybody. And so there's a squirrel looking at me. So that's been kind of the downer. That's everything that I wanted, everything I planned has happened, and it has been happening. It just happens much slower than I had envisioned. And it's interesting at the moment, I'm now moving from a phrase that I really love is that prototyping is easy, production is hard, and developing revenue is hardest, or generating revenue is hardest. And I'm really discovering that. But I think today I actually had my first full day of making a very small profit. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm running advertising campaigns, but they're tests to try and find what advert works in what area works, that actually generates sales, that it is starting to that can then turn into a real business. And it's very difficult to find that. There was a business called Anki that I studied. They were a technology company, and they made AI toys, and they raised $200 million in venture capital, and they were generating $100 million a year in revenue, and they still failed. It's like, how do you fail if you've made this much money? And well, it's possible. And I was always very careful not to do that. So I've been taking very slow, careful, deliberate steps, and it's just hard, you know. It's just really hard to make this work. But I thought, if I keep going and if I'm careful, as long as I don't do something stupid and get over my skis or spend too much money on advertising that doesn't have a return, then I'll be okay. That I'll be able to do this. And I think today was just that little tipping point. And I thought, okay, you know what? I think I need a celebration. So today I've decided to come outside to do paperwork instead of sitting inside. And I thought I'll share something with you, a little video that I made 4 years ago. And at the start of COVID, I was called in by my boss and I was told, "You are fired, go home, do not ask why." I think he needed to stop spending money, and he took my job. But I was suddenly unemployed at the start of COVID, and there was no way to find another job, and I was lost and everything seemed terrible. And I decided to break the lockdowns, and I went and hid in a forest in the middle of January, built a fire just so I could have a think. And I'll share the video of that, because I made a little video back in the day, and I came up with an idea, and I just said $1 million deals only. I don't know what that means, but it just means whatever I do now has to have the potential to make $1 million, no matter what it is. So the thought of looking for a job at this point, I can't make $1 million, so I'm not doing that. I need to find something or invent something or create something that eventually can scale to $1 million. And that was how Truman was formed, and Truman Toys was formed. And it took me 3 years of learning electronics, and then a year of bringing it to market through Kickstarter, and now getting to this point where today I think I've made £20 profit, I think. But it looks that way. We're about to make some profit, and it's taken 4 years. But the video I'll share with you now was from 4 years ago, and I've just lost my job, and I'm in a forest, and I'm trying to decide what to do. So today I'm in the forest. I'm just in my little hammock. I'll get up and show you around my campsite. So there's the hammock behind me. Over here I've got a little campfire is going. It was very wet this morning, so it was not that easy to get going, but well, it's easy to get going, it just takes longer to prepare. I've got my a cup of tea getting ready there on the burner. I've got some bacon, some sausage. I'm going to have a bacon sandwich later on, cooked on the fire. And I normally come out here when life gives me lemons, because we're all having a hard time with COVID, and I'm having a hard time, so I thought I'd come out and give myself a little break today, come out and have a rest. But you can see I am miles and miles away from anywhere. This is called social distancing. So I've definitely come social distancing today to just come and have a little campfire, had a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea, cooked in the forest with some nice clean fresh air, clear my head, have a think, and regroup and come back fighting. So it's going to be a good day today.